Hey everyone, finish watching the next episode of Power Rangers Megaforce, Who's Crying Now? Troy gets bullied by two kids who kinda resemble Bulk and Skull. When Troy stonewalls, the bullies back down. Elsewhere, the bullies tease a kid, Howie, and steal a bug in a container he has. Troy takes back the container and returns it to Howie. Up on the villain's spaceship, Vrak insinuates Creepox isn't strong enough to defeat the Red Ranger. Creepox then decides to go down himself and try once more. Howie is once again being threatened by the bullies when suddenly Creepox appears. He attacks the bullies and Howie stands up to him. Creepox is about to attack him, but luckily Gia and Jake show up and fight off Creepox. Their fight somehow leads into a large empty warehouse. Maybe it's a school bus garage? The other Rangers find them unconscious. They wake up and tell the rest of the team what happened. Troy and Noah go to stop Creepox, while Emma stays with Gia and Jake. We then get a really long fight between Troy and Creepox. Noah gets taken out early. Vrak shows up in his weird armor to watch. Troy defeats Creepox and the others finally show up. Vrak sends out the Zombats to revive Creepox as a giant. The Rangers summon the Megazord and unlock a new power card. With the new card, they can form an Ultrazord. They call it the Ultra Gosei Great Megazord, but the power card says Hyper Gosei. The cards say a lot of gibberish, so whatever. The Rangers defeat Creepox for good. The Rangers go to Ernie's later and see the bullies are now friends with Howie. Well, this episode sucked. It's got some status for including the scene with Troy stonewalling the bullies that became a meme, but otherwise it's pretty bland. There's no story, really. Howie standing up for the bullies, despite how mean they were to him, is the closest this episode gets to having any kind of story. Everything else is just Go-Sager fight footage. Creepox has been built up as a rival to Troy, but they really haven't had any relevant interaction. They bumped into each other once, and then they had a fight twice, the second of which ended in Creepox's death. There's a weird theme in this episode of characters wanting the other characters to cry. The bullies and later Creepox make multiple references to wanting their enemies to cry. This hasn't been a thing in any other episode, and from what I remember, it only comes up once after. Though that is kind of weird too, that the theme of, like, crying or tears having some kind of... I don't even know. I'm not sure what it's all about. Is it metaphorical, poetic, symbolic? The bullies of this episode resemble Bulk and Skull, with one skinny kid and one heavy kid. Unlike Bulk and Skull, it's the skinny one who leads, and the heavy one who stands behind and laughs. Not much more to them. This is their only appearance. Kinda weird, since this is the season that's trying to call back to Mighty Morphin, while Samurai was a season completely unrelated to Mighty Morphin and featured Bulk and Skull's son Spike as regulars. Also odd, they'd only receive a sole appearance, since after Dino Charge, comedic duos would become a staple for some reason. Howie, the kid getting bullied, has a rare beetle in a container. He knows a lot about insects. I feel like at some level in development there may have been some greater connection between him and the theme of humans versus insects, but it's lost here. Megaforce feels underdeveloped and rushed. There's potential and opportunity everywhere, but it just keeps missing it every time. This episode is also where the unlocked power cards start to get really repetitive. Too often, the Rangers just get stuff handed to them. There's no journey, they just get stuff for vague accomplishments. Personally, I think the season should have had the Rangers in space, traveling to different worlds, searching out lost equipment from Zordon. I tried looking up the actors who played Howie and the bullies, but they're not involved in anything that I care all that much about, so yeah, Megaforce kind of blows. And the other weird thing that I wasn't really thinking about when I wrote my initial notes is the fact that they already have an Ultrazord. They're not even halfway through Season 1, and we already have the Ultrazord. It's crazy. I mean, I don't remember for sure when in Mighty Morphin they got the Ultrazord. That might have been, like, before the halfway point, but that still would have been like somewhere around 30 episodes in. You know, I went through this whole thing and I didn't even really think all that much about how Creepox is already gone. Like, again, we're not even halfway through the first season and the Red Ranger's, like, main rival character is dead. This would be like in Mighty Morphin if Goldar was just suddenly killed and then never shows up again after only 5 episodes or something. It's ridiculous. what was even the point of setting Creepox up? Why even make him a main villain? He could have just been, like, a one-off villain for as much as they've used him. Or maybe he could have been, like, a two-part villain, because he was kind of relevant in the other episode. Maybe they could have built some kind of plot that has him focusing on the Red Ranger for whatever reason. Like, they need to come up with some kind of reason for him to be focusing on Troy as much as he does. You know, there's that dream thing with Troy. He has visions of the legendary battle, or whatever they're going to call it in Power Rangers. And so, I don't know, maybe Creepox knows that Troy has, like, some kind of vision of the future, and he's trying to stop that for some reason. You know, what's crazy is I remember back in the day, and even now, whenever Power Ranger fans do videos about Megaforce, off the top of their frickin' heads, they come up with fan theories and all these original ideas that are so much more creative than anything in the actual show. The actual show is so bare bones and nothing. Megaforce is just so bland. It's like if you fed an AI Power Rangers and said, write me a Power Rangers story. That's what AI would spit out at you as frickin' Megaforce. I don't even know why I'm mad. I'm not even mad. It's Megaforce. Like, it's a goofy meme show, basically. It's not, like, trying to be good. It's trying to... Actually, no, it wasn't trying to be a meme. That's why it works so well for memes. Take a good look. You see any tears? Like, that's so friggin' perfect. And there's so many other things in Megaforce I kind of wish became memes. Because, like, that's its biggest legacy is memes. I'm rambling now, and I'm just too tired to reach over and press the stop button. I'll try. I hope you enjoyed this. See ya.
Take a good look. You see any tears?